Hey Midships family, welcome to the Midships Minutes. I'm your captain, Corey. Today, we're talking about what would happen if the world's largest cruise ship struck an iceberg, just like the Titanic did 100 some odd years ago. This is an interesting article coming out from Yahoo News by Kelsey Vlamis. So what happens if the world's largest cruise ship, 5 times larger than Titanic, what happens if it hits an iceberg? With the world's largest cruise ship set to make its maiden voyage in 6 months' time, and in light of another recent disaster at the Titanic site, it's hard not to wonder what would happen if the Icon of the Seas met the same fate as the storied ocean liner. The Icon of the Seas is currently set to sail in the Caribbean, meaning it won't be encountering ice like Titanic did. But even if in the future it's used in an area where there's ice, it's still incredibly rare for a cruise ship today to strike an iceberg. Though it's not impossible, and fans of the channel will know, Norwegian managed to do it last year over in Alaska. There was some crazy video coming out from that. Now that wasn't necessarily an iceberg, but it was a large old piece of ice scraping down the side of the ship. Let's get back into the article. In 2007, an incident in the New York Times dubbed the modern Titanic, a small cruise ship struck ice, causing a fist-sized hole that let water into the engine room and caused a power failure. The 154 people on board had to evacuate on lifeboats and rafts, and that was probably cold. There was ice in the water. Oh, here we go. Last year, Norwegian hit an iceberg while traveling through dense fog in Alaska, causing enough damage to shorten the cruise and cancel another, so it could undergo repairs. But neither of these was as catastrophic like Titanic, or in this case, was a catastrophe of Titanic proportions. I see what you did there. That's some good authoring. You know what else is good? Everything you find right here. This will take you to the best cruise store on planet Earth, the Midships Amazon store. You can support me while getting something awesome for your next cruise. Check it out. There's a link up here and down here. Cruise industry expert Stuart Chiron, better known as the Cruise Guy, that's not my channel, but you can subscribe to his as well, told USA Today that last year's incident was extraordinarily rare. While cruise ships might occasionally contact ice, Sharon, I'm going to go with Sharon, I like that better, says it's uncommon for a ship to have physical damage or change its plans as a result of such an impact. Cruise ships rely on radar technology and satellite monitoring to avoid such collisions with ice. Improvements in GPS and aircraft patrols of the oceans have also made sailing the seas much safer. However, there still is a small amount of risk. Royal Caribbean, the cruise line behind Icon of the Seas, says all of their cruise ships carry sufficient life-saving craft to accommodate every guest and crew member on board, as well as additional capacity in reserve should something go wrong. Passengers on their cruises are also required to complete safety drills known as a muster drill, and that comes from SOLAS, the Safety of Life at Sea. That's an international agreement. Basically, all of these cruise lines are involved in it. That's why every cruise you take, you get to go do a muster drill. So even if unlikely tragedy strikes Icon of the Seas, the lifeboat and raft protocols should help passengers avoid living out some of the most dramatic and controversial scenes of the Titanic. Cue the sad Titanic flute. Cue Jack and Rose on the floating wooden door that they both obviously could fit on. You know, it's funny, Amazon actually sells a pool float that is the Titanic door raft. So maybe I should get one of those for my next group cruise flotilla. Let me know your thoughts on this. As a person who's cruised in Alaska, as a person who's cruising in Alaska here in a couple weeks again, ice is not really concerning to me, even though I've seen it coming up pretty close to the ship. I've seen it bumping into the ship. I don't know. Titanic was made in a different time. It was made with different technology, different metallurgy. It was riveted instead of welded like modern ships. There were so many problems that kind of all went together to make that accident a tragedy like it was. And I think we've learned after 120 or 140 years since then how to avoid some of those same shortfalls that Titanic fell victim to. Let me know your thoughts on this whole story down in the comments below. Icon of the Seas, 5 times larger than Titanic. I bet I could sink it, though, in Cruise Ship Simulator, which, you didn't know, I bought that game. I play it pretty regularly, and I'm actually considering doing live streams where, you know, you and I get together live on the internet. We chat. I read your chats, talk about them, talk to you, and I play the game. What do you think about that? Do you think it'd be fun? Let me know your thoughts.
la 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 la.